His only
Meanwhile, Caleb is like, you mean you still got gum you've been chewing for, what, 10 years now? That's kind of disturbing, actually.
It's not the same gum for crying out.
Well, you just said you still got it.
It's a figure of speech, man. Come on. You corporate stuck-up bastards are all the same.
I like your gum trick.
Thanks, Ruben. See? He gets it.
As you get back in the car, Integra ruffles your hair.
It's gonna
That's
be
a
hard
good
with
boy,
my
good
hat
boy.
on and me trying to bite at her hand.
She still tries. She still does it. She still does it with your hair, your hat. Just saying.
Sorry, the way you said that, it's just like, it's gonna be really hard with me wearing my hat and trying to attack her like an animal.
Isn't that what Logan is deep down?
Shut up.
Ah, beautiful. Anyway.
He's more beast than man now.
I can hear you being rude.
Oh, oops! Did I leave the radio on?
Yeah, be careful with that. We don't want him hearing about our secret plans.
What secret plans?
Oh, you know how we were just planning to, and then I'll cut off the mic.
God damn it. Anyway, with the gate raised, I'm assuming we can progress forward, right?
I would suspect so. Yes.
Let's roll.
And I'll follow close behind like somebody who's trying to skip a toll.
Let's hope that we don't need that skill later on in this session, because that's it. It's done.
You should have asked me to roll medicine at the door.
Fix the door. Cure the door. It's gonna show its gratitude by working.
Given it was also wire, you could have used fence cutters. You could have probably strong-armed it. You know.
Nah, let's not be fucking criminals yet.
Post-public wasteland, abandoned dock. Criminals.
Okay, I'm sure that the security system comprised of 20 killer bots that you have in lying is gonna be very gracious that we decided to do it this way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking was, if we just bust through this, God only knows what kind of, you know, we had construction robots trying to kill us for skipping a toll on a highway,
Yeah, can
so
you imagine if we
I can't imagine what happened if we busted into this place.
Jeez.
As you go past the little guard booth, you see one little robot looking at you as you pass, giving you a small wave. Good day.
Cool.
And I suspect, where are you going now? Are you... Because currently you're driving across the docks, are you heading towards the base proper?
Well, unless something interesting catches our eye, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna head off to the base.
Okay.
Should we steer along the water side more so we can keep an eye out for any vessels?
That sounds like a good plan, plus the view's probably better, so why not?
As you're driving along the side, you see some cargo containers. There is a pretty old cargo ship, which has, well, long since rusted and sunk, only its nose poking out of the water of the docks. And as you close in on the dock space proper, you can see that it was hastily built. It's not proper walls, but more like concrete dividers built upon each other. You can see some quick build military towers, though no guards. There's some turrets above the corners, though they are currently pointing down.
By the way, as we're driving near the waterline, I'm just gonna take a picture of Integra overlooking the sea or something. Probably gonna set a nice mood at the sunset.
You can
I like to imagine right as you're about to snap the picture, there's like a little bump in the road and the steering wheel goes wild because you're not controlling the car.
As you do take a photo, you do notice in your photo that the water is just an amazing color, like blue.
You're not gonna tell me there's like 100 fucking purifiers on the bottom that are constantly cursing, are you?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
No, fuck you. No, fuck you.
But yeah, you can. The water is stunningly blue.
Maybe we should go for a swim once things calm down.
I've never got an opportunity to see the ocean before.
Oh, make the most of it, Doc. Who knows when you'll see it again?
Ruben just kind of like, it's just looking like interesting out. It's like, I bet there's all kinds of secrets under the waves. It'd be interesting to crack them someday.
Maybe.
There's all kinds of interesting carnivorous azure beasts swimming around there too.
With the water this clean? Somehow I doubt it.
I don't know. There's a reason nobody travels by ship anymore.
Fair point.
Water is, however, clean, like rather clean, comparatively.
Should we bring back a sample for the?
that was exactly what I was thinking.
Of course. Well, there is stairs down towards the water line.
I'm just gonna ask Caleb to like pull over the car for a moment, and I'm gonna get a big old jar.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna take out my sniper rifle, get on top of my car so I can get a bit more of a vantage, and just use the scope to overlook the military base up ahead, see if I spot something.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Are there any like cranes or anything that we could use to get a view over the top of the walls surrounding the base?
Roll me perception.
Can I roll as well?
Yes.
Standard difficulty?
Yes.
Jesus fuck.
You're feeling very advantageous, but not very skilled.
But not very successful.
You do. As you're standing looking out, you get distracted as Ruben is collecting his sample. You look down and see like a small little, what appears to be a sharp-toothed fish, and you just get your gun and shoot near it and scare it off before it goes for Ruben's arm. But mainly Caleb, sorry, you don't find any, well, cranes that are still standing, but you do find what appears to be what is equivalent of a cherry picker kind of a vehicle.
Okay. I suppose I'm not going to move the van because we have occupants outside of it at the moment, but I'll walk over there and see if it's functional.
You can tell
Ruben
that it's lacking power. Like gas.
Ruben's just kind of like, he's just marching back, proud with his seawater jar.
Yeah,
Look what I got.
Might wanna keep your hands out of that water, dog. That thing tried to jump you.
Oh.
Yeah, I found a thing over here.
Oh, is it one of those things that extends upwards? That one?
Yeah, I'm thinking we can use it if we can get it up and running. We can get you a good vantage point. You can scope out the place over the walls.
Sounds good. Is it bothered it? What's up with it?
Seems like it's just out of gas.
That should be easy. What does this thing run on?
I'm not sure. I'll take a look and see if it's so old that it doesn't even run on Azure, or if it can run off of Azure.
Well, most vehicles can run on Azure, though it needs some actual gas type of stuff to run. Like a gas Azure infusion would also work.
I'd siphon some out of my car, but I don't actually have a hose.
Ruben's gonna go and just kind of look and see if there's any nearby warehouses or like any old boats or anything might be with a gas tank.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I guess we should take a look around. Area seems to be safe enough. We honestly haven't run into anything but a few bots, so should be fine.
And just
So-
as a side note, I'm thinking to myself, on our way back out of here, assuming we're not being chased out of here, imagine taking the time to get this cherry picker thing attached to the van. It'd be a great way to get you a vantage point to snap from wherever we are.
That would be kind of nice, but wouldn't that slow down your van even more? I mean, we were struggling a little bit on the highway.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. It's not exactly a sleek aerodynamic addition.
Boy, I do like your thinking. Mobile advantage point is always a pleasure for a sniper.
So, you gonna give it a little gas or what?
Yeah, we're gonna just look around the area, see if we can't scrounge up some gas.
You know what? I've decided to be a dick.
No.
Oh, there goes the black point.
It seems like there's no gas in any of the wrecked vehicles that you are currently looking around in.
As long as we're looking around the area, I'm gonna see if there's any sort of I don't know what you'd even call it, other than just say like a dock working office where I could find ledgers for potentially what might have been on that cargo ship that's mostly submerged.
I'm gonna take a second look around and this time look for a hose then, something I can use to, siphon from my tank to the other vehicle's tank.
Okay,
Yes.
roll perception for your searches, please. I would say, yeah, just 2 points. You're looking for common everyday items, really.
Yep, there we go.
Not looking for anything too strenuous.
And perception for me as well.
Yep.
No luck.
To get an advantage, however. Okay, right. Logan, you are scrounging around a bit. Soon you drag out of a pile of old medical equipment with with bits of sharp metal which you had to get in. You find what appears to be a thick medical tube you can use.
Ah, that should do the trick. God, it's been forever since I've done this. And I'm gonna siphon some of my car's fuel into that other vehicle.
Alright, while you're in that process, Caleb, as you're looking around for the ledger, you pick up what appears to be it, but it's too waterlogged. It's falling apart. But you do see a different document. It seems to be held in a plastic envelope, floating on the water.
Is it like actually out in the ocean water, or is it just like a puddle area?
It's like in a puddle area, since you went basically on the ship, didn't you, to search for the ledger?
Yeah, I would have eventually if I didn't find an office or anything.
Yeah, so it is a little bit sunk down, so this is basically ocean water that's got in. And it's like in the cabin you're in and water.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and reach out for it. I saw that there was things in the water, but I'm fairly confident in my new armor.
As you pick it up, there doesn't seem to be really anything around as you pick it up. But upon opening it up, you see that it's information detailing a smuggling project that him and somebody at the base was working on. Trying to sneak out military goods.
Any details on what, like, numbered containers or anything they might have been using?
It does seem that there are a few containers. Particularly, you got the list of containers which they were going to use. You also know how they were going to get it out was the fact that one of the old drainage / flood prevention tunnels actually led to the base, because what they're using as a base is, well, the flood control area.
Interesting. I'll head back to the group. Think I may have found this way into the base that's a little off the radar. We might not trip any alarm.
Oh, you have finished, by the way, filling it up enough. Like only like a li or so it needs to spark.
Sounds good. For now, this vehicle's got some gas. You wanna try turning it on?
Sure. I'll wait for him to get in, because we don't know how long it's going to last, but I'll wait for him to climb into the cherry picker and I'll power it up and send it up in the air.
Sounds good.
As you go up into the air and you overlook the base, you see the fact that this base, while looking ramshackled on the outside, is a little more advanced than at first perceived. As you can actually see, the turrets are not as asleep as they appeared to be before, as once you got higher they seem to move and look at you, but have not done anything else besides. Over the top of the base, hidden by one of the concrete divider on the wall, is in fact what appears to be a net, and you can physically see small sparks of electricity dancing across it. Seems like whatever was depowering the gate entrance, well, you now know.
I'm gonna relay everything I see, guys.
You do, however, also see plenty of vehicle frames. Seems like they were using this to fix their vehicles.
Yeah, sounds like without the proper credentials, we ain't gonna be welcome there.
Ruben's like, kind of like musing. I'm going to use my my suit's ability, and I am going to do my best attempt at recreating like what a military outfit would look like.
Well, you have seen some.
Yeah.
That's true, you have seen. Since your coat is military, as you just change it back to what its default colors were. So you do have at least a coat that looks like it.
And he's just like looking at Caleb with like an eyebrow raised, like, convincing, right?
I mean, you got the look, but I imagine that we're not just trying to fool optical sensors. I'm sure they've got all kinds of ID scanners and things of that nature.
Well, I look cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna look the part if we run into any people, for sure.
Speaking of people, you didn't see any while you were up on the thing, which Logan is still up on the cherry picker. You haven't brought him down yet.
You see any robots running around in there?
Ash, do I see any robots or just turrets?
You see some movement, but you don't see big movement. It's like small little things, kind of like the cleaning bot you saw before.
Just a whole lot of fucking turrets and a lot of Roombas, I guess.
And I'll lower him back down. The truck tips over and you fall out sideways.
Quickly make an agility roll to jump to safety. Logan fails again.
Are you actually trying to, or are you bringing him down?
No, I'm just I'm still traumatized by that.
Okay, that's a shame. That would have been hilarious to see you jump and try to fail, then just fail outright. Right, so you get out of a cheaper vehicle. It's nicely just chugging away, numbing the gas. What are you guys gonna do now?
I guess Ruben's gonna be like talking along. He's like, so did you find a good entry angle, or are we just gonna be crashing through the front door?
Well, I found us something. According to these documents here, there seems to be a way into the base through the water control tunnels.
Sounds good, but once we're inside, uninvited, what the hell then?
Well, I don't think we're gonna have a written invitation, regardless of whether we go in through the front door or through here. So, I think this is our best way of going unnoticed, at the very least.
Oh,
Aren't we trying? Like, what are we trying to? We're trying to remove like a large, some huge chassis and everything, aren't we?
Yeah, that'd be the ideal, but anything useful. It's a military base.
Yeah, I suppose. Once we're in, we're gonna have to figure out. You and Adam will have to work out how to figure out how we're gonna open the main door so we can drag what we need out.
I imagine once we're inside, it shouldn't be too hard to find credentials if we can move around unnoticed.
considering we're dealing with bots, as long as we, turn off their security system, we should be fine.
But could you imagine what kind of base this would be if we could keep the security systems and have them work for us instead?
Not really my kind of thing settling down in the middle of nowhere, but I get your point.
At the very least, maybe we could, depending on the kind of vehicles we find, we could slap a couple of these turrets on top of them instead of on the walls.
Hey, if it brings us more money, I'm all for it. I mean, it's a military base, right? You'd think they're gonna have some pretty expensive shit in there.
Speaking of which, there are also some cargo containers that may still contain some what would have been stolen military tech.
Now you're speaking my language.
You thinking we should arm ourselves before we try to go in?
Potentially. I mean, we're all just sitting here with pea shooters compared to what those turrets can put out. So Lord only knows if there are robots that are just sitting unpowered waiting for intruders, maybe. I don't think these things are going to do much against them.
I'd be offended, but he shows off his super old rifle that is literally being kept together with some duct tape in places. I think you got a point.
Integra looks over towards you. You can see the high-tech shotgun on a lab, and she's just looking towards you and shaking her head.
Unlike you, now I only hunt beasts, I don't hunt men, so it doesn't pay as well, okay?
I should have took that offer to hunt you. She says, looking off to the side.
I mean, we do also technically have a Azure-fueled flamethrower, but I'd rather not have to use that.
That's one expensive flamethrower.
I was gonna ask. So, is there any kind of in a dock like this? This is me because I don't know anything about docks. Would there be any kind of a winch system that they could use for trying to pull stuff out of the water?
Yeah, the same thing they used to load the cargo containers onto the boats in the first place, if we could power it up.
Yeah, because if we're trying to fish out, so you were saying that you think that there may be shipping containers just sitting in the bottom of the docks in the water, full of all kinds of stolen cred?
That's what I'm thinking. I imagine They're either on the boat and thus in the water, or somewhere on the dock. But if they're on the dock, it's going to be a hell of a time trying to find them.
I'm just gonna. That is a good question. I mean, I don't even have anything that I can use against robots. I mean, we all found out I had mind powers recently. That's a fun revelation, huh? But I don't know how useful that is against machines. So, yeah, I guess I am going to. So.
Those kinds of cranes, the ones that are like all four-legged and shit. So if we can get one of those up and running, and we know where to reach down into the water, we could potentially pull one up.
Possibly. Most of the containers are currently in the water due to, the ship sinking.
Wait, I've seen Mythbusters. All we have to do is find like 100,000 ping pong balls.
That should be easy enough.
If you know the episode I'm talking about, you know how it works.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would allow that, even if somehow you get that many ping pong.
Hey Ash, if it logically makes sense and it's doable, you have to allow it.
Oh god. All that high tech in the world, everything powered
I'm sorry, did you miss the part where I fucking jury-rigged the door like it's an old fucking car and then I fucking siphoned gas out of one vehicle into another?
Yeah, this is a low-tech episode.
This is going super low tech right now. Oh god.
We're going
Right.
super hipster on this one.
So what are you guys doing then?
Well, unless I'm mistaken, I'm the only one who can go underwater for extended periods of time. So I'm
Honestly, I
gonna
wouldn't feel safe.
cautiously.
I wouldn't feel safe about us rummaging about stuff without us exactly knowing what we're looking for with all the security still on. Shouldn't we prioritize turning off the security?
Give it some
Well, there's
military
none on
base
the
this
outside of the military base, right?
So
apart from the turrets on top, no, not actually outside.
we're gonna have to go inside. That, yeah. If you're feeling
So-
confident about rummaging through that stuff underwater, I'm not gonna stop you, but it feels a little dangerous to me.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
confident, but
I want to sit down at like the edge of the docks, and I am going to use Force Sense to see if I can pick up any if there's any other fish or like any other life forms that are kind of lurking underneath the waves at all. Any Azure influenced beasts and the like.
Roll me perception.
Oh, I'm not very good at perception. I was gonna use the oh, roll it.
You were going to use what?
I was gonna use the force power sense.
Oh, yeah, then you can use that.
Oh
That's
wow!
not how you roll it.
I know. I'm really bad at this. Okay, I'm new
Why are
at
you so
this.
bad at dice?
I don't know, man.
I can just
The
imagine us in
shapes.
a basement somewhere playing in a room and Truben's just rolling all the dice is wrong even then somehow and we're like, how is this possible? It's a superpower.
They're color coded.
yeah, you just want to get rid of the difficulty dice and then press the one that's in the dead center.
There you go. Oh, that's not good.
It's not good.
It seems like things are interfering with your powers. You can sort of sense things, so you've even seen them, but you can't really sense anything big in the water.
And Ruben just kind of shrugs. He's like, "Don't ask me how I know, but there are definitely creatures down there." As Logus pointed out, I unfortunately have nothing.
Is there still enough in the cherry picker to move it towards the end of the dock by the sunken ship?
You could. You could even just push it. It's not a big vehicle.
True.
Its wheels may be a bit messed up, but otherwise you can. There's 3 of you. 2 of you, if you don't count
Two of
Ruben.
you and a Ruben.
Yeah. I mean,
That's like 2.5 people.
That's
Ruben's-
like almost 2.5 horsepower. There you go.
Ruben's like a genius, of course, but his physical stats are, well.
Look, I can drug myself up and then I can shoot a pistol.
So yeah,
If I use performance enhancing drugs, I'm average, okay?
So
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, I should say this in character, I suppose. Yeah, Ruben, I'm thinking if we push this thing over by the end of the dock and lift you back up in the air again, you can give me some decent cover if you happen to spot anything moving through the water that isn't me.
Yes, I'll do it.
I'm just watching. What are you guys actually trying to do? Like, see if there's anything in the water, or trying to see if the crates are in the water?
I'm more worried about the creatures. I'm imagining that the water is. You said it was. Well, actually, no, you didn't say it was clear. You just said it was blue. Is it clear enough to see the crates?
Yes, it is. It's like crystal clear blue. Like, that's what I mean. It's not. I know that blue is normally Soju Azure, but I just mean it's pretty damn clear. That's how Logan saw the fish from before.
Yeah.
In
So
fact, if you just look beyond the docks, you could see the barrier that encompasses the docks is a different color than the ocean.
So there's some kind of probably some kind of filtration system or something weird going on with that, or maybe just interesting. All kinds of
Yeah.
meaty fish.
if you can use whatever power it is you were using before to try and sense anything, maybe if you see something from up above, you can shout me out a warning through the radio.
You got it, boss.
Or we could put Logan up there if he feels like sniping at shit.
I'd feel more comfortable up there, yeah. As long as the turrets don't decide to fucking turn me into Swiss cheese.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Maybe fire off a shot right now and see if they do anything.
That would give away our advantage.
Or no, wait, you did shoot the fish, right?
Yeah, I did. Nothing happened though.
Yeah. So you're probably fine out here.
I'm sure sailors go bullet fishing all the time.
In Texas, you're not wrong.
I thought that's the only way to fish.
That's very unethical.
Only way to
But-
fish with bullet, bow, and explosives.
Explosive
I'd be-
bullet balls.
I'd be really impressed if you could hit a fish in the water with a bow. You need like a weighted tip so it actually go through the water.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah.
I'll switch into my underwater armor.
You know, I'll be honest, when you went for that, I wasn't sure if it was going to be useful, but hey, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's also basically 2 hours worth of air, so even if it's not underwater, if we run into any hazardous gas or anything like that.
Yeah, I shouldn't. I should learn not to doubt you.
Yeah, I'll switch into that and just make my way. Because you said that it was partially submerged, right? So I can head onto the boat and then just start making my way walking underwater.
You could, yes, but what kind of what are you planning to do? Holding your breath, swimming?
Oh no, I'm in my my seascape diving suit.
Oh right, you have that.
Yep.
I totally
Space to be
forgot that.
prepared.
By the way, by this point, Integra and Eddie have like got out of the cars and are just relaxing. Integra's actually sunbathing while you guys are doing things.
Logan's just gonna walk up to her, look at her funnily, and just go, seriously.
She's on the hood of your car. She looks over and goes, "What? We're waiting for you guys," she says and leans back.
I'm gonna be very disappointed and then take a picture.
She's actually holding out her hand, like towards you, gesturing, like, "Gimme."
The phone?
No, and then you can feel something tapping you on the back. Eddie points towards the back of the van, and you can see, your lovely butler droid holding out a drink.
For fuck's sake. Don't indulge her.
But sir, she asked for a drink, and I always provide.
We're gonna have
In
to...
the meantime, while she's on the hood of your car, if you don't start blasting Whitesnake through your speakers, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Ash, play me some Whitesnake.
So someone get it for me. And I will.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand. I'm gonna get my weapon ready just in case, and you know, get up there so I can have a vantage point while Ruben and Caleb are dealing with the underwater issue.